morning and welcome to the tip of the day. I'm Dr. Amy Starr with the Mesa Veterinary Clinic, Paws and Hose Mole Veterinary Services, and San Francisco Staples. And we're helping El Paso help their pets. So, everybody's heard about the plague, the Black Death, that killed 25 million people in the 1300s across Europe and Asia. This is the exact same thing. It still exists. The reason why we don't hear about it as often is because we have antibiotics now, which thank goodness. So the antibiotics, so basically plague is a bacteria and it is treated by antibiotics because it is a bacteria. And what happens is plague gets into the intestinal tract of fleas and it builds up and builds up and builds up in the intestinal tract. When the flea bites something, whether it's a rodent or a dog or a cat or a human, then it's kind of impacted with that bacteria. So as it bites, it actually vomits up that bacteria into the bloodstream and then it takes its blood meal. And so that's the way it's passed on. It's most commonly seen in rodents, like I said, chipmunks, squirrels, and prairie dogs are especially susceptible to it. So that's where we see it most commonly. And then from there, it passes on to the pets. So what happens, your pet goes out and it catches a rodent and then it gets the fleas. Or the rodent is infected and so it bites, your pet. Also, if the plague kills the rodent and the rodent is in its burrow, then those fleas will actually leave the body because the body is no longer warm and they'll congregate around the entrance to that little burrow, and then your pet goes along and sniffs in the burrow, and what does it get? Fleas. And so from there, it gets bit by the fleas and it gets the plague. So then the fleas are in your house and the fleas bite you, and so then the whole family is infected. So there's three kind of different symptoms of plague. One is bubonic plague, where it actually causes the lumps from direct bites. Flea bites. The second is systemic, so that bacteria has now gone into the bloodstream. And then the third is pneumonic, where it's actually into the lungs. And this is the most serious. And again, it is life-threatening. So if you do feel strange, and you've been out and about, or your pets have fleas or anything, make sure you get into the doctors. Really important. It's very easy to treat if it's treated early, but it can cause deaths if it's not treated quickly enough. Every year we see about 3 to 4 cases in New Mexico, about 17 to 20 cases across the US, and luckily most of those do go home, but they are hospitalized for quite a while. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. So the number one thing is try to keep your pets away from the rodents. Do not pick up rodents if you're out hiking or walking around and you see a cute little chipmunk or squirrel. Don't pick them up. Even if they look sick, don't touch them. And lastly, make sure you keep your pets on flea and tick preventative. Super important. You always want to keep them on flea and tick preventative year-round. Fleas are a year-round problem. Once they get into your carpet and your bedding, they're there to stay unless if you fumigate really well and do a whole bunch of environmental treatment and pet treatment. So the best thing is just to keep them on the preventative. The ones that we recommend the best are NexGard and Frontline Plus. And we're not sponsored by them, we just use them. So those are the ones that we use and recommend as the best. I use the NexGard on my dogs. Oh, and actually Revolution is a great product for your cats because it takes care of the fleas, the ticks, the heartworms, some mites, some intestinal worms. So it's a really good product. So that's what I actually use on my pets. So, moral of the story is stay away from the rodents and flea and tick prevention for everybody. If you have any questions, let us know. Hope everybody has a great day.